Claude Opus 4.6 just dropped, and it didn't just improve. It found 500 zero-day vulnerabilities in open source code on its own. Today, I'm breaking down everything new and showing you exactly how to use it. Opus 4.6 is Anthropic's new flagship model, released February 5th, 2026. It's the successor to Opus 4.5, which was already the top-performing coding AI. But this isn't just a point release. They've added a 1 million token context window, agent teams for parallel coding, and something called adaptive thinking. The numbers are staggering. On Terminal Bench 2.0, the gold standard for agentic coding, Opus 4.6 scores 65.4%, the highest score ever recorded by any AI model. On Arc AGI 2, which tests problems easy for humans but hard for AI, it jumped from 37.6% to 68.8%, nearly doubled. SWE-bench verified? 80.8%. Humanity's last exam with tools? 53.1%. Beating GPT 5.2 Pro at 50%. For the first time in an Opus model, you get a 1 million token context window. That's 5 times more than the previous 200,000. What does that mean? You can feed an entire codebase, 50,000 lines of code, into a single prompt. On the MRCR Long Context Retrieval benchmark, Opus 4.6 scores 76%, Sonnet 4.5, 18.5. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Agent teams. Instead of one AI working through your project sequentially, you can now spawn multiple Claude instances that work in parallel. One reviews your auth module, another writes tests for your API, a third updates documentation. They coordinate directly with each other, each in its own context window. To enable it, add the experimental agent teams flag to your Claude code settings. Then just describe the team structure in natural language. Adaptive thinking replaces the old binary toggle for extended thinking. Now the model self-adjusts its reasoning depth. 4 effort levels: low for quick answers, medium for standard tasks, high as the default for most work, and max for the hardest problems. You control this through the API with a simple effort parameter. Low costs less tokens, max goes deeper but uses more. And this might be the most remarkable part. Anthropic's Red Team gave Opus 4.6 access to Python and standard security tools. No special instructions, no fine-tuning. It found over 500 previously unknown zero-day vulnerabilities in open-source libraries. Buffer overflows in OpenSC and CGIF. A crash bug in GhostScript. It even wrote its own proof-of-concept exploit to confirm one vulnerability was real. Let me show you how to actually use this. First, install the Anthropic Python SDK. Pip install Anthropic. Create your client and use the model ID Claude-Opus-4-6. That's all you need for a basic call. Now for adaptive thinking. Add a thinking parameter with the effort level. Set it to low for simple questions. It'll be faster and cheaper. Set it to max for complex debugging or vulnerability analysis. The model decides how deep to reason based on your effort setting. For agent teams in Claude Code, add the experimental agent teams flag to your settings.json. Then tell Claude what team you want. Describe the roles, the tasks, and it handles the coordination. Start with review tasks. They're the easiest way to see the power of parallel agents. Now the pricing. $5 per million input tokens, $25 per million output. Exactly the same as Opus 4.5. Same performance gains, 0 price increase. And with prompt caching, you can cut costs by up to 90%. How does it stack up? Against GPT 5.2, Opus 4.6 wins on Terminal Bench, Arc AGI 2, and Humanity's last exam. Against Gemini 3 Pro, it leads everywhere except multilingual knowledge by a fraction of a point. OpenAI even scrambled to release GPT 5.3 Codex just 20 minutes after this launch. Anthropic calls this the era of vibe working. Not just vibe coding, vibe working. AI that handles entire workflows. With a 1 million token context, agent teams, adaptive thinking, and the ability to find real security flaws autonomously, this isn't hype. This is the new standard. The model ID is Claude Opus 4.6. It's available right now on the API, Claude.ai, Amazon Bedrock, and Google Cloud Vertex. If this breakdown was useful, subscribe and hit the bell. See you in the next one.